This is chapter 2 of my story. Chapter 1, we left off where I was visiting one of Yamamoto's students' family. We had dinner there before they took us to Yamamoto's house. Again, we had traveled from New York City to Tokyo. It was approximately between maybe 30 hours of traveling, leaving from the home in New York City to by the time we got to the school in Tokyo. We were exhausted. We went through a lot. We left at night. We wind up reaching Tokyo at night, going to the school, the dojo, going through a lot. We were exhausted. The only thing we wanted to do is go to sleep. But we had to meet Yamamoto, Shion Yamamoto. And we arrived at his house, and he wasn't home yet, but the housekeeper was there. She had instruction, and her instructions were, to make us comfortable. So she showed us to our room, and we lay down, almost fell asleep. But right before that, we heard someone coming into the house. We figured it out. It was Yamamoto coming home. It was late at night. So I kind of set up, at the edge of my bed. And sure enough, he came. Of course, he knocked on the door first, and he came into the room. Well, I was shocked. And the reason why is because this is a man I knew, my entire career in martial arts, as in karate uniform, videos, old videos. This to me was somebody big in my mind. I don't mean in size. I mean just a powerful person. I expected a dragon coming through that door, a lion, but it wasn't any of that. What it was a little guy in a black suit, white shirt with a very thin black tie, glasses, reading glasses, and a cigarette in his hand. And I was kind of shocked because it looked like a cartoon character coming through that door. I almost started laughing. Of course I didn't, but I did something just as bad. I pointed at him and I said, "You are Yamamoto?" Like, holy shit, that really came out of my mouth. And the guy just stood there, put the cigarette in his mouth, took it out, exhaled, and he said, "Yes, I am." And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I knew I got caught. I knew I put my foot in my mouth. I was just trying to make believe it didn't happen. But it did. It happened. But of course, I was a young man, and I kind of, just backed off. He didn't say anything. We just introduced ourselves. We talked for about 5 minutes. If I probably even less than 5 minutes. And he said to us, he was like, "You guys go to bed, and tomorrow we'll start a new day." For sure. Anyway, we went to bed. Fell asleep. Must have been about maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock. Anyway, about 3 in the morning, the maid comes knocking on the door, comes in. She wakes her up and she says, Mr. Yamamoto wants you to get up. You're going on a trip. I looked at my watch. Holy shit. 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay, fine. We'll be ready in a minute. And we were. In a minute, we were ready. And we started off. The guy had an American car. I remember. It was a Jaguar. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not a Jaguar. I forget the name of the car. But anyway, it was an American car. And he took us to the train station. It was one of those fast trains doing about 100 miles an hour. So he told us, as a look, you're going to Matsuyama Shikoku, and you're going to a dojo. The sensei there is going to be waiting for you guys. They know you're coming. I spoke to them last night, and all of the above. While he was telling me that, in my head I was saying, well, he's punishing us for my, being disrespectful last night, and I don't blame him. But you know what? We were so far away from home, we didn't really have a choice in the matter. Fuck it. So we ran with it. What else? What else can you have done anyway? You tell the guy no. So we went, and about 24 hours later, because it wasn't a trip downtown, it was a trip across the country. And we took 2 trains and a ferry boat. By the time we got to our destination, there they were, the whole school, waiting for us. And they had big smiles on their face and a big plan in their head. Now, one thing that Joey noticed right away, he says, look at those guys' hands, man. They look like they're made out of rock. I said, yeah, they've probably been working out a lot, breaking bricks and breaking trees and fighting all kinds of stuff that can't fight back. So I wasn't really taken over by that. It didn't matter to me, all that nonsense, because that's what it was, all nonsense to me. I was too much over and above all that. But of course, Joey was a freshman, so to speak. Everything that he saw was impressing to him. But he did make a statement. He said, wow, it looks like you're going to have your hands full. I said, Joey, I don't need, that kind of bullshit from you. Just let's deal with this. And we did. There was a guy there that spoke English. And he translated what they were saying and what we were saying. And we were ready to go for what I thought maybe a short ride to the gym, or I should say to the dojo, but it wasn't. It was a couple of hours. Wow, man. For the last couple of days, that's all we were doing, is traveling. But in the middle of the traveling of that day, we stopped off and got something to eat. And in that, we were having sake, got drunk on sake. Wow, it was unbelievable the way these guys drank sake. I mean, we used to drink little cups of sake. These guys were drinking glass, just like water. But anyway, when in Rome, do as the Romans, and we did that. But I got a little dizzy and happy drunk kind of thing. And so we get back in the cars. There was 3 cars. It was a lot of these guys came to meet us. And we kept driving. We got to the dojo. It was dark already. It was night. It was a whole day of traveling. So we're thinking we're going to bed somewhere. It didn't matter where, even on a mat. It didn't matter. We were exhausted. But all of a sudden, these guys they started putting their gis on and ready for class. And I'm looking at them. I said, excuse me, what's going on? Well, we have a class. Oh, okay. Can we go to sleep? And we'll see you guys tomorrow. No, you have to come to the class. Oh boy. So Joey turned around and goes, oh, this is it. They're going to have a party with you. I says, Joey, I don't need this, okay? So let's just do a workout and go to bed. I was getting a little cranky now. So now, normally our classes is, you used to stretch out, you go through some basic, and then, you start training. It wasn't like that. This was a committee. They just wanted to fight. No stretching out, no warming up, none of that stuff. Just right to it. So I'm looking at the teacher, and this guy looked like he had little horns on his head. Uh, he didn't speak a word of English, but you could see the guy was solid. You didn't have to touch him. The guy was solid. And I'm telling the guy, I said, look, I'm tired. I was drinking. I think we better do this tomorrow. I don't know if I could control myself. And I'm trying to get out of this thing. I'm trying to go to bed. And the guy's pushing it. He says, no, you have to fight. I says, okay, we'll fight. So Joey looks at me and goes, what are we going to do? I said, Joey, you want to go to bed or you want to walk home? And she says, okay, let's just get this over with. So get on the mat, and he puts a black belt in front of me. I guess he heard from Tokyo not to put white belts in front of me. So he puts a black belt in front of me. I figure he probably put one of his best students, if not the best student. I looked at him. Again, we went through the whole process, bowed to him, and bowed to each other. We started. I busted him up. To be specific, I broke his lip. Blood came out of his mouth, on his gi, on my gi, and right away they stopped it because I got a little aggressive. I went over what I should have done. I wasn't trying to make a point. I was just tired. That was it. We went to bed. We got up in the morning. Everybody had a smile on their face. And we started our workout. And we worked out that day, that morning for 4 hours. I mean, we went through the whole morning working out. A funny thing with these guys, after 2 hours of class, they took a break. And everybody's outside, and the first thing they did is they lit up a cigarette. And I'm looking at these guys, is this guy serious? I didn't smoke. Then after that, back to class. I said, wow, this is new to me. But anyway, they didn't go into pushing me into fighting anymore. It was strictly workout. I mean, they would, what they call a wheelbarrow. They would grab your ankles, and you would have to walk on your knuckles. And this is not a regular dojo. This was like a little monastery, and gravel. There was concrete steps, old-fashioned. It was really a monastery. Really beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. I mean, your mindset was right there. And now this was over 50 years ago. I'm 71 years old now. Going back when I was 17. So, it's a long time ago, and things were different then. Old settings, people were just different kinds of people. The whole world, not just Tokyo, or Japan, or Matsuyama, or New York. Even New York was a different place. So, a different life, different kind of people. The world was a better place. The world was a better place. Kids today, they don't know what they miss. But anyway, I hope one day things turn around and change back to the way they were, which I doubt it. But anyway, now this workout, it was 4 hours in the morning. And we thought maybe when the afternoon came, because we got up early in the morning, as soon as the sun came out, that was it. And then we went to lunch. And thinking after that, well, we're going to go around, sightseeing, that kind of stuff. No, there was no sightseeing. There was another 4 hours. At the end of the day. The whole day was working out. The whole day. This was for 3 months. And the only day that we had off was on Sunday. And we could go to it happened that we wind up there in the summertime. And we used to go to the beach and the mountains and that kind of stuff only on Sunday. We couldn't go out, sightseeing, discotheques, that kind of stuff. No, that was not allowed. And every time we went out, we had to be with one of them because they didn't want us to venture off and get into some kind of trouble. And what they meant was, girl trouble, that kind of stuff. Then after a couple of days, because we were sleeping right there in the monastery, a couple of days they found a family that took us in. They had a big, it was like a farm, and they had like these little, I guess, apartments, nothing spectacular. It was just, Japanese apartments. They didn't have no running water or plumbing, that kind of stuff. It was just like, pull out your bed, put it on the floor, and go to sleep. Really, really nice. Japanese style, all the way, 100%. They would feed us in the morning. And there was 3 sisters. And they were all older than us, of course. I was 17. Joey was 1 year older than me. Oh, and another friend of ours, after a couple of weeks, arrived, Tommy Patera. Again, that was the kid that I met when I first moved into Bensonhurst, when I first went to the karate school. We were friends forever. And he arrived. Now it's 3 of us sleeping in one room. It was one room. Maybe it was like 10 by 10 with one of these little doors, like, Japanese doors. And we used to take out our cots, put them on the floor, and go to sleep. And that was it. To go to shower and to go to the bathroom, they had like public baths, which they still have now. It's a tradition. In Japan, they still do it. It's a public bath. They go there. You got like these big pools. People bring their towels. It's normal. It's normal. In the beginning, it was kind of weird, but we got used to it. And be honest with you, it was a nice thing to do. So we're in. We're Japanese style all the way. Working out every day, and Sundays we go to the beach or the mountains or something like that. But we were working out hard. I couldn't open up my hands in the morning because I would have to work out against a tree and hit the tree until my knuckles were bleeding, and you could actually see the blood on the tree dripping down. But the hands were numb. You didn't feel nothing anymore. Then after that, this is every morning. And I remember in the morning, right before going to the workout, Tommy would have to literally open up my hands because they just couldn't open up by themselves. And we had to do it all over again. Every day, every single day. The best shape of my life. I was so happy. Didn't speak to my family. They didn't know where I was. We didn't have phones. We didn't have plumbing. They had no clue where I was. And to tell you the truth, I didn't miss them. I was so happy. Now, one of the sisters, the girl, her name was Harumi. I can imagine. I can still remember her name. She kind of got into me. She liked me. She had her own car. She was an older girl. well, an older girl. I was 17. She was like 25, 26 years old. Um, so she started taking me around. She had a restaurant. She had a bar. She had money, and she was taking care of me. And being that Joey and Tommy, well, Tommy had his own money. His father used to send him money. My father, he didn't even know where I was. What was he going to send? Joey, he didn't even have a family. So we were kind of feeding off of Tommy and off of this girl Harumi. And that's how we got along. We have to pay rent, we have to do anything. And this could go on forever. The girl wanted to get married. She grabbed me one night in the car, and I started, speaking a little bit of Japanese. And she actually proposed to me, and I backed off. I was 17, and my head wasn't there. But she was so cute, so cute. And I think that might have been my destiny that I overlooked. And what are you going to do? It is what it is. But anyway, I never forgot her. Never. Okay, so let's go on with this story. So now, everything is wonderful. I got this girl, she's got the car, she's got her own restaurant, she has her own bar. Her family have money, we're working out every day. Couldn't ask for more. Didn't need any money. But Joey decided that he wanted to go back home. So he did. He left. He wasn't really into karate. Tommy and myself, we were there. We worked out every day. He was, like I said, he was a little older, a year older than me. And he was like my little brother. The guy loved me. And I loved him too. But when Joey got back home, my parents got a hold of him. And of course, he told them where I was. And my family reached out to me. I don't even remember how they got a hold of me. I think the house that we were staying, they had a phone number, a phone connection there. And I think that's how they got a hold of me. Between Joey, my sensei, anyway, my mother was able to get a hold of me. And she started pleading, please come home, your father misses you. And he promised that he's going to, because this whole wind up, the wind up was, I left because of this car business. I got mad at my father because he didn't want to buy me a car, and I left, and everything escalated. So my mother convinced me to come back home. And she promised me that my father was going to buy me a car. Imagine where my head was. And I decided after almost 4 months, I says, okay, Mom, well, tell Dad that if he wants me to come home, number one, he's got to get me a ticket because I don't have a return ticket. And number two, he better buy me a car. Otherwise, I'm leaving again. No, he promised. He promised he's going to buy you a car. And don't worry about it. We're going to send you a ticket. You'll be home and everything will be fine. So, okay, fine. Now, I told Tommy I'm leaving. And Tommy was devastated because he was a good kid. And he was kind of sorry that I was leaving. He was going to be there. He was the only American after. Once I left, he would have been the only American. And the truth of the matter is Tommy wasn't as good as I was. And I was kind of holding the reputation. They had us there because I was kicking their ass. And I started teaching them. And they were idolizing me. Never met Yamamoto. Never met him. After 4 months being there, kicking their ass, the teacher, he wouldn't fight me. He wouldn't fight me. Because he seen me in action. In the class, the guy wouldn't fight me. But they were willing to hold us there for as long as I wanted to. So I told Tommy, I said, Tommy, I got to go. My family wants me. I got to go, and I got to go. So I did. I remember the day I was leaving, Tommy and the girl Harumi, they came to the airport. The both of them were crying that I was leaving. It was sad. It was really sad. I felt so bad that the girl was crying. I promised her I was going to write to her and all that kind of stuff, which, broken promises, broken hearts, and I've been thinking about it all my life. Tommy, another one, he was like my little brother, even though he was older than me. After I left, they kind of booted him, made him leave. He had to go to Tokyo. He got himself a job. And that's another story. And I'll talk about Tommy in the next chapter. So, get on a plane, and I wind up back in the USA. And the funny thing is, I left at night. I reached New York City, I should say Brooklyn, at night. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was night. And I went home. And I don't remember exactly if somebody picked me up or I took a cab. I think somebody picked me up. I think it might have been Joey that picked me up. When I got home, the first thing I said, "Where's Dad?" And my mother said, "Well, your father had to travel. He's in Rome." Oh, I blew a fuse. She says, "I knew it. He broke his promise. He's not here." My mother goes, "Take it easy. He wants you to go to Rome." Because before I left to Tokyo, that's what I was doing with my dad. I was kind of a mule for him. I would go places and bring merchandise or pick up merchandise, that kind of stuff. In my head then, it was a normal thing to do. It was a legal thing to do. But I wasn't doing anything legal. It was all illegal. But again, that's another story. You see, there's so many stories to my history. This is why I say, I gotta do it chapter by chapter. I have to explain how I got there. So I get on a plane and I wind up in Rome. I'm 17, best shape of my life. I'm pissed at my father. And my father had a partner. His name was Rodolfo. Rodolfo Rocchetti. Nice guy. Really, the other guy loved me. I found out he was gay anyway. But I didn't know at the time. And as a matter of fact, I brought him a kimono that the girl Harumi had made for me. I remember she took me to a shop and they made it just like you make a suit. And I gave it to him because I really had a lot of admiration for him. I gave it to him. That wasn't a very nice thing to do, but I'm telling the truth. So now I'm telling my father, now you're going to buy me a car. You're going to buy me a car here in Rome. And then I'm going to take it back to the U.S. Otherwise, from here, I'm going to go to Japan. And I was like angry with him and really, really mad. But anyway, there's a lot more to the story. So I'm going to have to make another chapter because, again, I don't want to make it too long. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. And please like this channel. That way I can make more of these things and give you more information about my life history.